Hey everybody, Paula Lindsay here. This is part 2 of how to survive being raised by a white supremacist and coming out the other side not as a white supremacist. I talked about having freckles and how I was concerned as a child that perhaps I would be taken away from my family because everything seemed so random. Brown skin, black skin, and maybe I was changing colors, and it was scary. But I grew up. I got a little older, stayed in a family. Clearly, I was in the right place. So, and then I met my cousins. Some of my cousins have red hair and freckles. And, slowly through time, I found out that, I was in fact a white person. But there were other things that really helped me in my life to not have the influence of white supremacy just completely dominate my life the way that it did my father's. And some of them took a long time, some of those experiences. But perhaps one of the most profound things that happened to me was I, as you can imagine, a white supremacist person would more than likely have control issues. And my father certainly had those. In raising his children, it was very difficult for him to not have control over every single thing that we did. Things like how to wear hair, what clothes to wear. It was very intense. So there was a lot of control, and when I had my own children, it became clear to me when my kids were little that I really had very little idea on how to raise children correctly, and all I knew about how I wanted to be a parent was that I didn't want to do it the way my dad did. My parents divorced, fortunately, when I was very small. I was 8 when my parents divorced. My mother very wisely and fortunately for me left that environment. And I say fortunately because in her doing that, I realized that it wasn't a requirement that people put up with this stuff. That just because you're part of a family doesn't mean that you have to buy everything that's being said. And that was a very important lesson. But when I had my own kids, I really struggled with how to be with them. So at the University of Wyoming, I took some early childhood education classes. And one day, one of those classes just basically changed my life. And it was a relatively simple lesson to everybody else, but to me it was completely profound. We went in and we each pricked a finger, and we determined what our blood type was. And I'm B positive. Not particularly rare, but not the most common. And then at the end, when everybody knew what their blood type was, the instructor had us divide according to that blood type. And I was not the only white person in my group. And it was just like this light bulb hit me in the head or something. It was like, what? What? And the teacher said, you need to take a really good look at the people around you, because these are the people that if you need blood, they're the ones that are going to save your life. And it was profound to me. It was the first time really that I had actual proof, scientific proof, that my father was completely full of shit when it came to race. He doesn't know anything about it. I mean, I left that classroom that day, my head was just spinning, because I realized there is one race in humanity. And fortunately, some of them have B positive blood. So the word on the street today is, give me a dose of that B positive stuff. And sometimes I'll be looking around at people, and if you see a whole group of people, no matter where you go, you're going to see variations in their color and the way they dress and their hair and everything. It's humanity is really interesting. And I'll think, wow, I wonder who's B positive. Anyway, bye.